All right, so this is a day after applying, let's see, the DPC green stuff. Green machine, well, I'll call it green machine, I don't want to cause no problems, but this is basically his home brew. Nice little sealant line right there. This is his home brew, ceramic spray sealant. He's saying 6 months protection. Hydrophobics, not so slick, but hydrophobics. All right, so let's test it out. So not there, here, because here, yeah, let's put some there. Let's see. So it's a day later. And normally a hose would probably show the hydrophobics, but I don't have the whole hose set up. I'm just going to use this spray bottle for beads. Nice. That's really beady. And then let's try this. All right. And now, little soaps. And now let's grab the air. Apologies. Fast spin. Alright, so now let's see how it moves. Because that's actually what I care about. This actually doesn't do much for me. I like seeing the beads. But, you know, if it stays like this in the sun, you're going to get water spots. So ideally what you would want to see is fast movement. So cover your ears. Alright, so this movement, I like it. If I was driving on the highway, by the time you stopped, those beads would be gone. I always find that as the beads get smaller, which is why I like to see them kind of aggregate, get bigger, and then pull themselves down and off the panel. As they get smaller, they become harder to get off, and they want to stay there. So that air blower isn't the best air blower. But it's the best one that's cordless that I found that's within my budget, or yeah, I'm willing to spend, rather, not budget. Or I'd rather I budgeted for it. But yeah, that's pretty good. So when it gets down to this level, it's a little wet. I can live with that. I'm actually not going to rub all that. I'm going to use a Drynaid real quick. Which one am I going to use? Let's just use something light. Starna, there we go. Yeah, so performing well, really good for a home brew, and that's it. Looking forward to continuing to use the product. I'm going to use the entirety of the bottle. Let's see how long that takes, because I do wash the car frequently. And then, yeah, report back to you all on the DPC page, as well as Scott. So, Scott, good job, man. You know, it's definitely a solid product. It applies nicely. Smells great. It's a powerful smell. Like, you know, you really, if you do it in your garage, you're going to smell it. The garage is going to smell nice. So that's good, because my garage could always use smelling nice. Could use some fragrance touch-ups here and there. What I will say is that it goes on nicely. Slickness, it's pretty slick. Not when you're first putting it on, but I've tested it against other ceramic sprays that I have. And the only one that outperforms it, to be honest, as far as what I have available to me right now at this moment, and what I remember trying in recent history, that'd be Tech 582. That one down there. Yeah. Tech 582 ceramic detail spray. And generally, oh, that's my little bead maker mix. Put that away. So that's not really, I was just mixing that back in so I could have an empty bottle to spray water on. The bottle I was using contained this mix. This mix was bead maker, but I am not a fan of bead maker. I mean, I love the way it feels, the slickness, I like the smell, everything else. But at least for me, during the time that I used it, I had significant dust issues with it. The thing would I mean, literally, the car would be covered in dust. And I know some people say that's, whatever, it's not, it's a function of other things, not the spray. But truthfully, I mean, the previous car, it was pretty bad. So what that is now is mixed. You could tell from the color he was slightly different. It is bead maker, what's left of bead maker, Meguiar's Final Touch mixed in. So it's probably a mix of about 40% bead maker, 20% Meguiar's Final Touch, distilled water, and then I added some Ethos rinseless wash, and that's why it's kind of got some pink back, but not that much. So this here is a hybrid, so surfactant, some SiO2, and it added some slickness to that mix, and that plus Meguiar's Final Touch is a solid product to begin with. And no complaints there. But yeah. So here it is. Yeah, good stuff. Super glossy. I mean, honestly, even without the spray that I used is a good detailed spray. Starna Gloss. It by itself, I mean, that's not that slick, but it is glossy. So, good job. Looking forward to trying it again with the pressure washer.